Hello, my name is Amber. I've been a part of the Sphincter Of Oddi dysfunction group for probably about, I don't know, maybe a year. But I wanted to tell my story of everything that has happened to me because I know a lot of people question whether or not they're really having like the symptoms of Sphincter Of Oddi. And my diagnosis is Sphincter Of Oddi dysfunction type 1, and I do have chronic pancreatitis, which I have developed after having the ERCP. Before I had the ERCP, I would have a little bit of elevation of my lipase, but nothing compared to what I have now that I had the ERCP sphincterotomy and stent. So my symptoms started 3 days after I had my gallbladder removed, December 2016. What are you doing? So I had my gallbladder removed, was told I was not going to have any crazy side effects, no symptoms. I was going to go back to having a normal life, and I was excited. And like multiple people in my family have had their gallbladder out, so I really did not think nothing ever crossed my mind of having a severe complication from that surgery. So I went ahead, had my gallbladder removed. 3 days after having my gallbladder removed, I woke up in the middle of the night, and it was like something just punched me in my upper right side. The worst pain I had, way worse. I've had 2 babies, worse than having 2 babies, and I don't know if it's because it's up higher and there's just like no position you can get in to get this pain to feel better. But I ran into my mom's room because I was back home whenever this attack happened. I ran into my mom's room and I was just screaming, and I just told her I have to go to the hospital. I could barely talk. I could barely breathe. It was extremely intense. I looked like a wreck, and I didn't care what I looked like. I just wanted to get to the hospital because I wanted pain medication for whatever the hell was happening to me. So she hurries up, gets in the car, drives me to the hospital, and as soon as I get to the hospital, I just start vomiting all this bile. They got me back pretty fast. I really didn't have to wait. They were trying to tell me to hold still so that they could get the IV in to give me some type of pain medication. They gave me morphine. The first couple of times I went with an attack, they were giving me morphine, and it was actually making it hurt more, and it was burning. And these people kept, the first time I had the attack, they told me that it was because I had my gallbladder removed, and my body was trying to get back to normal from having my gallbladder removed. So I thought, okay, maybe so, it has to go back to normal. So it has to get used to it. But then a couple months after that, I think over the summer, I had another attack. And my mom once again had to rush me to the hospital. What's wrong? Oh, you want your blankie? Okay, here. I'll give you your blankie. Here. Nope. Here you go. And I don't usually record stuff in my car, but I have a long drive and I'm bored and I feel like I can record it today. So, I had another attack. My attacks usually happen in the middle of the night. Just intense, extreme pain in the middle of the night, with the vomiting. Like, it started to slowly, my attacks progressively, like, I have them every 4 to 6 months, but the pain was getting worse, and the symptoms during the attacks were getting worse with, like, non-stop, constant vomiting. And, it's like I vomit everything until my stomach is empty, and then sometimes it seems like the vomiting will make the attack pain kind of stop. It almost like it helps it. So the third time I had an attack, I went to the emergency room, and I told my mom, they have got to do something. I cannot keep having these attacks. We had no idea what was going on. I said, I feel like I'm dying. And I had looked at my labs from all my other prior hospital visits, and my ALT would go up to like 170, 120, something. It was elevated, but it wasn't elevated enough that they were like, oh my God, she's got something wrong. But they should have been like, okay, this lady's in pain. She's puking her guts out. Something is clearly wrong. They kept sending me home just telling me I was crazy. So finally the third attack, same thing. Actually, this time they put me in a psychiatric room, and they would not bring me any type of pain medication because they thought that I was drug seeking, I'm assuming. I waited for 45 minutes before the nurse came back in, and the only reason she came back into the room was because I started sticking my fingers down my throat, making myself puke because I was in so much pain. I had to relieve the pressure, and nobody was helping me. So she finally came back in and told me, if you keep sticking your fingers down your throat, I'm not going to help you. You're not going to make me go any faster. And I said, listen here, I'm in so much pain. I don't give a shit if you go faster. I don't give a shit what you do. But I'm making myself puke because, and I was like not talking normally. I was like gasping for air as I'm telling her, I don't care about you. I'm making myself puke to make myself feel better. Nobody's helping me. I'm in so much pain. I have to do something. So she left, didn't want to come back in and help me anymore. Thought I was just a crazy person. Had another nurse be my nurse. And he finally gave me Benadryl, which has some kind of spasmodic something in it, and it actually helped it go away, which was shocking, and I've never tried it ever again. I don't ask for pain medication when I go to the hospital, and I do not ask for Benadryl. Those are two of the things that they will say that you are some type of medication seeking person. I never, ever, ever, I have learned from being on the Sphincter Of Oddi dysfunction group, you cannot ask for those. Don't ask for those. Honestly, taking pain medication for this problem, I think over time progressively makes the symptoms worse. And antispasmodics, those are what I ask for. Antispasmodics, benzodiazepines, those are things that help it doesn't relieve it instantly, but I do think that it helps kind of like help slow the attack. Pain medication, no, not gonna help you. Like, just don't even try to do it. So whenever that lady, or after that hospital visit, and when I was telling my mom that we have to do something, they sent me home again, told me everything was normal. I popped up my test results, saw that my ALT was 175, and I said, take me to St. Anthony's. We're going to a different hospital. She took me to a different hospital. I was still kind of having a little bit of pain. They ran more blood work. They checked me for hepatitis, and then they checked my liver function. Finally, my ALT, 2 hours after my attack, came back to being 440, and my AST was 660, and my ALP was like 129. It was enough that they were like, okay, she's not lying, something's going on. So they finally contacted my general doctor. I got in with him, and then a week later he had me scheduled for my ERCP. So I had my ERCP the first week of February 2018, and I went for 7 months without having an attack, and then this past August I had another attack and had to go to the hospital. I had to go to a military hospital where they were actually very good at taking care of me, and they believe in SOD, and they believed what I was saying. Besides the one nurse, they kept giving me so many medicines trying to stop the pain this time, and it just wasn't working for some reason. So the nurse goes, I'm going to try morphine, after we all told her not to give me morphine. She tried morphine, and she learned to never give somebody with SOD morphine ever again, because I started projectile vomiting, like excruciating. It made my pain, it was already excruciating, got 100 more times worse. And so now I'm going to see my GI doctor again on Monday. I've had a scope since that attack, and They didn't see anything, which I didn't expect them to, but I'm going to tell them I want an MRCP done because pancreatic cancer runs in my family like wildfire, and my grandpa we just lost somebody to it a year and a half ago, and now my grandfather was just diagnosed the day before Thanksgiving with a small tumor, and in my ERCP they found a filling defect, a small suspicious filling defect at the level of the ampulla is what it said, and my doctor couldn't really verify that a stone came out when he did the ERCP because he said the flow is just so brisk, but nobody has went back in to check to make sure that filling defect is gone, because if it were a stone it should have came out, because they did the whole balloon thing and scraped it all out. They did everything that they did. So if there's still a filling defect, then I think that it needs to be looked into a little bit further, because I've had another attack and I just still don't know what's going on. I'm fine in between my attacks. I have like little squeezy feelings every once in a while in my like right side. I'll get a spasm feeling, but it's not pain, it's just squeezing. And I've only noticed that since they did the sphincterotomy. I can tell when it's starting to become like, it just feels like it just squeezes, almost like a contraction, like it just squeezes. Or sometimes I'll get like a little flick feeling up in the right side. So, I don't know. I'm going to see my doctor again on Monday, and hopefully I have some more information. I'm going to continue to share my story, and I hope more people share their story and symptoms and everything that they're going through, because I feel like this is a condition that affects a lot more people than doctors want to acknowledge. And it's terrible that you have to suffer, and when you go to the hospital you're treated like a crazy person, and just to have no answers, no treatment for this problem is just unbelievable. And I think more people need to start talking about it so that we can get some help, because we need help. So thank you for listening. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm planning on posting a link to it and sharing my story. So I will talk to you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.